Miguel, who called a couple of weeks ago, and I'm going to be quite forthright with them. So, Miguel, you have said you've discovered proof of God and you want to read your poem about it. You're not reading your poem about it, but I think last time the hosts, I don't remember who you were talking to, it was Jimmy and someone else maybe.
I wanted to say Dr. Ben, but I think I'm
maybe.
wrong.
But please, let's have a conversation and let's address the parts where, because you made lots of straw men in the last conversation you had. Let's address those and
Miguel,
and kind of go
steel manus. Steel manus.
That's it. Would you like to present your proof of God, Miguel?
Yes, but we have to go step by step, because if we don't go step by step, we don't go anywhere, because last time, for example, the host didn't accept, that reality is eternal. If we don't accept,
so let's stop you there. Let's stop there. You're wanting to go step by step. I'm more than happy to do that. Reality is eternal. Is
Miguel,
that your claim?
Sorry to
yes
cut you off,
or no?
Miguel, did you listen to the last call?
Well, it was fast and furious.
Did you listen to the substance of the last call?
No, not really. What?
So I will say this now to you, and I'll say this at the beginning to you. Please do not make assertions that you expect us to just believe. The assertion that reality is eternal is wording that you're giving to us that you're expecting us to just believe. Please don't use expectations on us that what you're saying is the case. Please don't do that.
Okay, let's go step by step. Let's go step by step from the beginning. Let's go step for step from the beginning. Does reality exist now? Does something exist now? Is reality exist? Yes or no?
Yes, reality exists.
As far as I'm concerned, reality exists, yes.
Yes, exactly. We are alive. Now reality exists. The second debate, the second question is, can reality be created from nothing?
I don't personally believe so, and I don't think it was.
And it depends what you mean by nothing.
Yes.
Nothing is absence of existence.
How do you? The next question is, if you have an absence of something, how do you then fill that if there is nothing, as we're saying here, if there is an absence of everything, how do you create something so that there is no longer an absence of everything?
I mean, the point is, from something that doesn't exist, from nothing, cannot be created reality, cannot be created.
I agree.
And I would agree with that too. I can't disagree with that.
Exactly. So the logical conclusion, is a straightforward conclusion, logical conclusion, is that reality is eternal. Always something.
No,
because you are throwing.
You're making a leap
the word
there.
Eternal there, and eternal can mean more than one thing. Now, I've no problem with accepting that eternal reality is eternal. I've no problem with accepting that whatsoever. But it is not a self-evident thing, and it can mean different things. Does it mean that there is a necessary being, and let's say that the universe is in philosophy is a necessary being? That means it has to exist. Or are you stating that there is a past eternality built on a series of events?
I am saying that always, no matter how back you go in time, always something has existed. That's a fact. That is pure and simple logic.
That is not pure and simple logic, but I actually agree with you. But so
it's not
we
pure
can...
and simple logic, though, insofar as that.
Unless Phoebe disagrees in any way, I'm happy to move on with the argument. I'll let Phoebe just quickly respond before we move on. When she's finished choking.
We move on. From now on, the thing is, reality is eternal. So reality is eternal now and always. We don't have to fight again for that point. We move forward from that point. Now the next question is: can the universe be eternal? Is it possible or impossible that the universe is eternal?
The universe isn't eternal. We know when the universe began.
We have red shifts, and you are going to eventually get blue shifts, which show you the age of the universe.
But the universe isn't necessarily the sum of reality. Or it is now, but it's not always been the sum of reality.
It's the sum of our known reality.
Yeah.
That does not necessarily mean that our unknown cannot be factored into it.
The thing is, that's why I wanted to read the poem, because I get my points across. I explain what I think about the issue. You understand? Because the debate, I know how it's gonna go. I have debated with atheists millions of times. You go nowhere. Because there is always a but, there is always a if. So basically, that's my plan. My plan was just I read my statement. I read what I think about if the universe can be or cannot be eternal, and for the audience, if they want to understand, they understand.
That's preaching. We asked at the beginning and the top of the show, please don't preach. Reading a poem and expecting other people to just accept is a form of preaching. Please don't come onto the show and preach.
Yeah, and the thing is, you said you discovered discovered proof of God. You've not presented that proof of God. You've had a conversation with us where we largely seem to agree on things.
We don't disagree with you on most things that you're bringing up.
None of that we agree with leads us anywhere near to a God. Never mind a specific one. Yeah. So have you got a further part of the argument which will take us to God?
Okay, I'm going to explain why the universe cannot be eternal, okay?
We don't need to... No, look, Miguel, we don't need to explain why the universe is not eternal, because we've both, for the sake of this argument, agreed with you that the universe is eternal or might be eternal. What we're asking you now is how that relates to God, because you said, it was proof of God.
It's this discovery we're waiting to hear. Please tell us your discovery.
Look, I need to talk. I cannot talk. I'm not explaining myself. It's like in the last call. It's all the time. I need to explain myself. I need.
Well, we're trying to let you explain yourself, but we're asking you a specific question. When you're just going to move on to something we already acknowledge, we agree with, then there's no point letting you talk because it's not going to further the conversation. How does this relate to God? Let's get there. We agree that the universe is eternal for the sake of this argument. No. Now let's take the next step.
To you, what I am saying to you is precisely the opposite. The universe cannot be eternal. It's impossible. You understand?
Why is it impossible? Right, that's a claim that you've not made so far. So why are you making the claim that the universe cannot be eternal? Which, by the way, you started off by saying reality and now saying the universe, which I have already stated might be different things.
Listen. I say, this is very simple, okay? I say reality is eternal, and I say the universe, it's impossible to be eternal. Two simple statements.
Yeah, we agree. We agree with you. How does that get us to God? We're not disagreeing.
Because God is the creator of the universe. And
so where is that coming into this argument? How are you arguing for that? What are you giving as evidence for that? What are you giving as an argument for that?
I am giving you a logical argument. The universe cannot be eternal. Therefore, what created the universe is eternal. That's what we call God. God.
No, that's what you call God. That could easily be the singularity from which the universe expanded.
Universe.
Right. You're calling it God. I'm calling it the singularity. How do we make the differentiation? What can you present us with which will convince us that it wasn't the singularity from which the universe came, but it was God that caused it to spring into existence?
Okay, this is listen, please, listen. Okay, what I'm saying is reality is eternal. This is a logic.
Yes, we've done that little bit. We've already done that bit. Let's stop doing that bit and let's give an argument as to why it has to be God.
Because God, by definition, is the creator of the universe. And if the universe cannot be eternal, therefore...
That's a circular argument, sir. That's not logical. That is circular. So let's go. So I am stating, let's make this really simple. Listen. Let's make this really simple. I am stating that what the universe came from was the singularity. You are stating that it is God. How are you demonstrating that it is God?
Because God, by definition, God is what created the universe. You understand?
No. I'm stating that by definition, what created the universe was the singularity. We know that the universe came from singularity. So what you now have to do is show that both it didn't come from the singularity, which is what we know actually happened, and that instead of the singularity, God brought it into existence. That's what you have to do if you're now making a logical argument.
But when you call the singularity, what you are saying is more. The universe was created by more universe because there is no intelligence.
No. I'm not saying that. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm not saying that the universe was created by more universe. It may be that that's the case, but that's not what my argument is. My argument is, as the science shows, all that we know at the moment is that the universe came from the singularity. That's where it expanded from. That's it. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. That it came from the singularity. You're saying, no, it came from God. Why are you first dismissing the singularity and secondly imposing God there instead?
All right, because the singularity has a beginning of existence. The singularity, the singularity the scientific people are talking about has a beginning of existence. That singularity is not.
No. We don't know that. There are many hypotheses around this in physics, but there is no scientific theory, accepted theory, that says that the singularity had a beginning of existence. We don't know that. For all we know, for using philosophical language, for all we know, the singularity could be a necessary being. We know that the universe came from the singularity. We do not know that there is a God. So why are you dismissing the singularity, which we have knowledge of, and asserting God in its place?
Because when atheists refer to a singularity, the multiverse, the Big Bang, or anything else,
they are all different things, sir, that you've just referred to. So let's stick with the one thing we're actually talking about, which is the singularity. Do you have an understanding of what the singularity is?
Yes, I know what it means. Basically, what atheists say, the universe was created.
This has nothing to do with atheists. Do you have an understanding of what the singularity is?
Yes, it's something that created the universe, but without intelligence. Am I right?
So what? Yeah, but do you have an understanding of what it is, other than something? And I actually object to the word "created," because that implies an intelligence, something putting something into motion via.
Please listen. That's
will.
Listen to me, please. The point is that what you are saying is that something caused the universe, but that thing was caused by something else.
No. That is not what I am saying. I have said this many, many times during this conversation that is not what I am saying. And this is exactly why, after your call last time, in your many, many comments in the comment section, I repeated to you that you were straw manning the hosts. And you're doing it again now. That is not what I am saying. I am not saying that it comes from something else. That's not what we understand the singularity to be. Do you understand what a singularity is?
Yes. The singularity for you is eternal or is not eternal?
Not for me. Do you understand what a singularity is?
Yes, I understand what a singularity is.
Explain to me and give me a steelman argument of what a simple 1-2 line sentence of what a singularity is in physics.
A singularity is something without intelligence that caused the universe. Am I right?
No, you are not right. A singularity is something that is a state of infinite density and temperature. It's where all the physics that we do know break down. That's why we can't see any further than it, because we don't have the mathematics to work there. So that's what a singularity is. Nobody is suggesting at all, nobody is suggesting at all that the singularity was created by something else.
If it's not eternal, it was created by something else. It's as simple as that. If the
it's an odd assertion.
Eternal.
That's a very
odd assertion. How do you know
assertion.
It's not eternal?
It's a very odd assertion.
Yeah. How do you know it's not eternal?
Because it was caused.
No, it wasn't. We have no evidence that the singularity was caused whatsoever. We do not have any evidence for that whatsoever. Why are you asserting that it is caused?
Because it has no intelligence.
Intelligence, something not having intelligence does not need a prerequisite that it was caused.
The coronavirus has no intelligence.
Well, of course, if it has no intelligence, it was caused. It was caused from something else.
No.
Right. The bottom line.
Okay.
I'm getting very confused by your reasoning,
I'm going to give you one more chance, Miguel, to kind of state why this has to be God. And without strawmanning us and saying we think that the singularity was caused, which isn't the case, can you state why it wasn't the singularity that brought the universe into existence and it was God?
What I'm saying is, what has a beginning of existence was created by what is eternal. Logically, what has a beginning of existence.
No, not logically. No, not logically. And on that note, I'm going to let you go because I'm sorry if you had anything.
I'm very confused. I am very confused.
Yeah, it was, and I just want to point out as well to the person called Reasonable Faith in the chat. Give us a call. Don't talk shit in the chat because that's exactly what I was talking about at the beginning of the show. If you've got a problem, call in and present an argument. Phoebe, have you anything to add to that call?
I think that's the quietest you've ever seen me. I think that's the quietest you've ever seen me. It was just like, Richard's got this. Richard's got this one.
Things like this really frustrate me because, I love philosophy. I really, really do. And on every occasion when you have these conversations, this kind of special pleading is done that what is a necessary being has to be God, and that is what the universe has to have been brought into existence by that. None of those kind of a priori thinking. They're not a priori arguments, not self-evident. And it really frustrates me with that. And I'm really into kind of I'm not a professional cosmologist. I'm a complete layman, but I really enjoy reading about cosmology and things like that. And I hear these calls and I hear these apologists trying to make these arguments, and they get the information wrong all the time, even from my basic understanding of it. And they all kind of need to, they jump onto vague, like, kind of scientific weekly headlines that give sensationalist headlines to think and completely miss the point of the actual things that are being discussed. And I find it really frustrating.